I hate to ask this question, but we have to know. Is Disney World lying to us? Today isn't about strategy, it's about science. Think of us as the CSI of Walt Disney World. Today we're gonna make our way around Epcot going clockwise and stop at every ride we come to. First, we'll make a note of the wait time that Disney has posted, but then we'll set our own timer to see, once and for all, if Disney World is lying to us about wait times. And the first ride we come to when we enter Epcot is, of course, the icon of the park, the geodesic sphere known as Spaceship Earth. It's not only a park icon, it's also a very, I was gonna call it incredible. It's incredible because of the nostalgia. It is a slow-moving dark ride, and it gets dark, okay? I mean, if you have kids that are terrified of the dark, there are long periods of darkness in this ride. There are also long periods of amazing sets and incredible animatronics and fabulous, that's the word that I'll choose to use, narration by Dame Judi Dench that has become truly iconic at this point. So the posted wait time for standby, according to Disney World, is 15 minutes. We're gonna set the timer right now, get in line, and see how long it really takes. I really encourage you to take this long periods of darkness warning seriously, because almost every time I ride, there will be a family with frightened children who end up having to turn on the light on their cell phone, which kind of ruins it for everybody else. I really encourage you to think about this, talk to your kids, and see if they are up for an adventure that might not move fast or have dips or turns, or, you know, it's not a thrill ride by any stretch of the imagination, but because of the nature of the ride, it is kind of dimly lit to almost pitch black for most of the ride. So please be aware of this and try not to turn on your cell phone flashlight if you can. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say we never recommend that you start your day with Spaceship Earth, because you're usually arriving in the morning, and that is usually the time we see the wait time is the longest. So this might not be a strategy you want to follow, because remember, we're not doing strategy today, we're doing science, and we wanted to start a little later in the day and not use some kind of rope drop strategy to try to get in when the wait times are shorter. We want a middle of the day quintessential look at wait times with zero strategy. And at just under 8 minutes, we are boarding. On to the next ride. Going clockwise around Epcot, we won't be able to test Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind because at the time of making this video, there is no standby wait. Therefore, there is no posted wait time. So, the ride that comes after that, Mission Space. And I think it's only fair to test Orange Mission, the original, the thing that makes, the version that makes it a thrill ride, the centrifugal force, the technology developed with NASA scientists and astronauts alongside Disney Imagineers. We're going Mission Space, Orange Mission. Now, when I say this ride was developed with NASA scientists and astronauts, I mean the technology used in this ride is the closest that we can get as non-astronauts to getting into an actual training simulation device that astronauts really use to train to go to actual space. It uses centrifugal force, which means it spins around really fast, and it's so fast and so smooth you don't even have an awareness that you're spinning. You just feel the pressure of being pushed against the seat, and it feels like you're blasting off to space. It's a very authentic feeling. According to astronauts, this is like a very close second to actually going to space. So it's cool we have it. It's intense in a way other rides aren't, and it is no joke. So all of the warnings here, heed them. We're going Mission Space Orange Mission. The posted wait time right now is 10 minutes. But these are the warnings. You should not participate in Orange Mission more intense training if you are prone to motion sickness or made uncomfortable by enclosed dark spaces. I mean, if you are claustrophobic, this is going to be a nightmare for you, because you literally have a kind of like, the ride vehicle closes in on you, and it's very close, and there's very little room to kind of move around, and it doesn't feel great to me, and I'm not really that claustrophobic. More warnings. This is not a joke. Take these seriously. This is unlike any ride you've ever been on before. Mission Space Orange Mission experience. That was the quintessential experience, especially because we got the haunted house ride vehicle again. That's what I call the one. I don't know if it's the one that squeaks really loud or if that's a thing, but I'm gonna buy a case of WD-40 and drop it off here with a little note. And this is the attraction that was listed on the warning board out front as being an alternative to having the actual Orange Mission experience, or even if you didn't want to have the green mission, if the claustrophobia, the darkness was too much for you, or someone in your travel party or family. This is an experience you can have here that teaches you some cool stuff about space, and there are some neat displays here with some artifacts. I don't know if they're real. That just looks like an old HP. Yeah, that's a pocket PC. Okay, so, you know, you can learn about the history of cellular devices as well. But, you know, definitely something fun to come and check out as you're exiting the ride, or something fun to do if you have smaller kids or anybody that does not want to ride either mission. And of course, the shop as you exit is your source for all your NASA gear needs. All of this cool NASA branded merchandise, official NASA gear is here. I love that jacket. I've always wanted this. Maybe now that it's getting cooler, I'll get it. How much is it? $74.99. I get an annual pass discount, so I might have to put that on my Christmas list. You know what I hear in the distance? The roar of vehicles zooming around the test track, the actual test track itself, outside of the show building, formerly known as World of Motion. Now a super cool ride in its second version, second after World of Motion, so I guess it's the third ride to be in this building, or the third version of a ride. And we are about to get a fourth. It was announced that this year's Destination D23, the test track would be getting its third makeover, this time integrating elements inspired by the original ride here, World of Motion. So lots to look forward to, but today we're not worried about that. All we're worried about is the time that is posted outside of the building and how long it really takes to get through the standby queue for Test Track, presented by Chevrolet. Please note, this ride does have a single rider line, so if you are a single rider or you're just a couple of pals or a family that doesn't mind splitting up, take advantage of that, because it's usually a lot shorter than the standby time, which is posted right now at 70 minutes. Okay, we're gonna get in line, set the timer, and see if Disney lied again. The original version of Test Track, which replaced World of Motion, was themed after the crash test dummies that were so popular on public service ads that ran in the 90s. And it actually allowed you to become a crash test dummy and ride in a then GM vehicle and test out the safety of one of their new cars. Also, if you were one of the few people that saw the Tomorrowland movie, and you should actually go watch it, I think it's good. It's not the best movie in the world, but if you love Disney parks, I think you can't miss it. This is the car of the future that drives around Tomorrowland. So that's a neat tie-in with that as well. You can see the actual car or the type of car they used in the movie right here in the queue for Test Track. Well, we aren't in the pre-show yet, but it's only been about 20 minutes, just a little over 20 minutes since we got in the queue. As soon as we get inside and get to our design kiosk, I'll stop the timer, and that will officially be, according to Disney's rules, when the ride begins, and that is when we stop the clock and see how far from the posted wait time of 70 minutes we end up being. And I think it's gonna be pretty major. The nice thing about being the first person in a row is that we will be the first out that door. It's not something you can force to happen, but if it happens naturally, it's a nice, fun, little time-saving miracle. All right, I'm gonna tap in, I'm gonna stop the clock, tell you how long it was, and start designing. 26 minutes, the pre-show has started, I stopped the clock, and that's our time. Registered as a 199. That is truly among my worst scores ever. So congratulations. I tried new things today. I tried to make it a really small car. I thought maybe that would help us, and that is not my experience today. It absolutely made us get a lower score, it looks like. You can also shop for cars. This is a Corvette, I believe. If you know anything about me, you probably know I am both vegan and also have never had a driver's license, which means I'm an alien from another planet to most of you. And, you know, that's like pretty much true. Test Track posted wait time of 70 minutes when we got into the queue. Our actual wait to get to the design studio, 26 minutes. That means it was 44 minutes less than was posted. Lie! But that's the kind of lie we love when Disney tells. Although it does make it kind of hard to plan your day, because you might see that time and say, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and skip it for today. But 26 minutes, and you could have ridden Test Track. On to the next, and that means heading over to World Showcase. Goodbye area formerly known as Future World, now known as World Discovery, World Celebration, and World Nature. We shall see you later. We'll be back. I would like to take this Odyssey shortcut opportunity to point out that this amazing shirt that I'm wearing today is made by our friends at Disney Food Blog, and you can go over to the DFB store and purchase this yourself. I feel like it was made for me, DFB. Did you make this shirt literally for me? Most likely not, but you know what? I think they made this shirt for us. You know who you are. Originally called El Rio del Tiempo, an opening day ride in EPCOT, now called the Grand Fiesta Tour, starring the Three Caballeros, a slow-moving boat ride through different areas of Mexico. It's a pitch to visit Mexico, and it's a great, really fun ride that we at AllEars pretty universally love. I mean, it's a great way to get some air conditioning, get off your feet for a couple minutes, and see some really cool sets and cute little animatronics. And we're gonna ride it right now. Posted wait time of 5 minutes. As soon as we get in the queue, I will set the timer and we'll see how long it really is. The Grand Fiestas Tour starring the three Caballeros posted 5 minutes. The actual time we waited, 2.5 minutes. I'm counting that half. Normally I would round up or down depending on if it was on one side or the other. It was pretty much right on 2.5. And that's also exactly half of the posted wait time. Once again, lie. And right next door to Mexico is the Norway Pavilion. And in the Norway Pavilion is one of the most popular rides in EPCOT, which is Frozen Ever After. It is it's another boat ride. Originally this was called the Maelstrom, and it uses the exact same ride system, a boat that at one point, spoiler alert, goes backwards. Yes, it is very exciting when that happens. It was originally considered kind of a thrill ride. The final scene that they had planned was very dramatic and exciting. There is kind of a drop like in Pirates of the Caribbean about that level of thrill, and it is Frozen themed, so this is for you and your family. This is a ride that your kids will love. Any Frozen lovers in your life will be obsessed with this ride. It uses rear face projection inside the animatronics. So the animatronics don't have like moving faces. They actually have a projected face, which is lit from within. If you think about like the glowworm toys that you might have had when you were a kid, I definitely had one. When you would squeeze its belly, its light would face up. Wow. Its face would light up and you would be able to use it as a nightlight. But it would be kind of weird if the animatronics just had a light up face and looks like a light bulb on top of a body. So I always say the unsung heroes of this ride are the lighting designers. Posted wait of 80 minutes, and I have the timer set. Let's see how long it really takes. Well, the line is kind of not moving, has not moved in a while, so people have started to leave the line, and you know, we've got the timer set. We'll see. This may be where we lose our time that we made earlier, and be the opposite kind of lie. It's for picking up ice cubes, like big cubes, like blocks, a block of ice. Well, it's been 20 minutes and we've only made our way through that very first little corridor. So once we get to the area that looks like we're outside, that's usually when the real wait kind of begins. I don't know why it's moving so slowly today. Something seems to be up. It's running, it's moving along, but not as quickly as it usually seems to. Okay, we have reached the indoor-outdoor area. That's the only way I know how to describe it. It's supposed to be outdoors. They have these lanterns, the facades of various buildings in this village, and it's beautiful. I love being in here, but look how much the line is wrapping back and forth. I believe we are going to be in here for quite some time. I am going to hunker down and meditate and really get into the process of waiting. And that also puts us right at the 30-minute mark. We've been in line for 30 minutes. That means 40 minutes to go according to the posted wait time out front, but we'll see if that's true or yet another lie.
Everyone's going to Elsa's Ice Palace today? Should be a real hoot and a half, yeah?
Normally this moves a lot faster, so you don't end up getting to see his bits like this. You walk through and you maybe like catch one in, you know, in progress, but this is a sign of how long this line is taking, in that we're sitting here watching him appear over and over, and here he is again.
Wandering Oaken here. Happy summer snow day from me to you.
And that puts us at 47 minutes out of a posted wait time of 80. And we've made a lot of progress. For fans of the original Maelstrom ride, there is the polar bear. That's a little statuette of the polar bear that was in that ride. Cute little nod to what existed here before Frozen.
Let it go. You'll never see me cry.
Okay, we have been sent to row 3. This is it. I have to look at the timer right now to see how long it actually took, but we are getting into the boat right now. Frozen Ever After, posted wait of 80 minutes. The real time it took for us to actually get through the queue and ride the ride, 51 minutes. That's a difference of 29 minutes that we didn't have to wait. And that also means another lie. Filming this video is making me realize, because we're not stopping and doing anything but riding rides, how few rides there are in World Showcase, and how sad it is to think about the ghosts of rides that were supposed to be like the Rhine River Cruise here in the Germany Pavilion. And I'm even gonna walk back here into the Summerfest area, which is their little quick service booth that does offer mobile order, and you can get pretzels and beer and other fun German related food items. But what we are looking for today is this mural back here, because this was supposed to be, this is technically the entrance. There is a show building back here. Do you see this is a hollow, thin piece of wood here that has a really beautiful mural painted on top. This was intended to be a ride back here. The show building apparently exists and everything, and it was to be called the Rhine River Cruise, and it certainly hasn't happened yet, and doesn't look like it will ever happen. 0 minute wait for the Rhine River Cruise. RIP to all the brilliant ideas Imagineers have had throughout the years that never came to fruition. I think Joe Rohde said that it's about, what did he say? It's an 11% rate of ideas that actually come to life. And he's probably high up there in terms of people who've had the most ideas actually happen. So I imagine it's frustrating, and think about all the joy that they bring us through their work and through the things that actually do happen and that we do get to experience. Okay, on to, we've got a hike before there's another ride. We're gonna pass Italy, we're gonna pass America, we're gonna pass Japan, and then we're gonna pass Morocco. And then we're gonna get to France and ride Remy. But there's a long period of time with no rides. We need to fix that. Come on. World Showcase deserves rides. Japan was slated at one point to have a Mount Fuji ride. There would have been a big Mount Fuji back there, but the rumor has it that Kodak, who is a big sponsor, they created that opening day map I used for the old school EPCOT video that you may have seen, and they also sponsor Journey into Imagination and the Imagination Pavilion, and Figment is famously adorned in the Kodak colors, his yellow and red sweater. So rumor, or the story goes, that they blocked it because it was like Fujifilm, like it was accidentally advertising Fujifilm and they were not having it, so no Mount Fuji in Epcot. That's the way I heard the story anyway. 90 minutes is the posted wait. I'll set the timer when we get in the queue. But it's amazing that this ride opened in 2014 in France. It opened in Disneyland Paris first, and I actually got to ride it in 2014. So it was kind of amazing that the ride took so long to get here, and that by the time it got here, it was a big enough deal after having been open for all those years already in Disneyland Paris, that they would take the virtual queue away from Rise of the Resistance and give it to Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. But it opened on the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. It opened on October 1st, 2021, and they were anticipating mega crowds. So that's what they did. They took the queue away from Rise of the Resistance, gave it to Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, and it is a really super fun ride. And that's a weird anecdote, but it's also kind of fun to know the history, right? Of the virtual queue. It's a niche history that I really love. And another piece of niche history, or just kind of, I don't know, general knowledge. I've said it before in videos, but the lighting is so beautiful. We're walking by it right now. I'm already spieling, but this fountain was designed by my uncle Harley Jessup, who is the production designer of Ratatouille. He was also the production designer of Coco and Cars 2 and Monsters, Inc. And I'm so proud. I'm so proud to be his nephew, and I love walking by that fountain and thinking about my Uncle Harley, who literally designed it. Okay, 90 minutes, we're walking in. I'm setting the timer now. And at the 30-minute mark, we have reached the exterior of Gusteau's out here on this rooftop. Just want to appreciate for a moment the intensity of the projector that's being used, that is able to look like that is a printed sign, but it's being projected on a sheer black fabric, like a mesh. Isn't that cool? 40 minutes and we've made our way into the artist's studio. I love this part of the queue. And at exactly 52 minutes, we are on our way. Emil is reminding us to drop off our glasses, so definitely do it. And it appears we experienced a miracle in that it seems to have poured rain while we were inside, and by the grace of everything wonderful about EPCOT, we did not have to be outside for it. We were in a queue, and a much shorter queue than we thought it would be. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure posted 90-minute wait. The real length of time we waited was 52 minutes, which is a difference of 38 minutes. That is another huge discrepancy between what was posted and what we experienced in reality, which means it's another lie. But I love these lies. These are the best lies. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. These are the best lies ever. Lie to me, Disney. Well, this one breaks my heart a little bit. This is a recent announced ride that we were supposed to have here in the UK Pavilion. It was supposed to be a Mary Poppins ride, and it literally got announced at D23, and they had concept art, and it was in the EPCOT Experience projection show that was happening in the Odyssey building, right? You know, it was before the pandemic, but then it opened up again. And when it reopened, a lot of experiences, or some of the experiences that were announced in there, had been removed. And this Mary Poppins ride in the UK was kind of the, I don't know, other than the refurbishment, you know, of Spaceship Earth, it was like a really big thing. And it's canceled, it's gone. So all of that to say, no posted wait time in the UK. Coming December 2023, this whole center section that is now known as World Celebration is going to be complete. It's supposed to be complete by December. Now, if you're watching this after December 2023, check the internet. These walls might be down and this place could be the coolest thing we've ever seen. But that is just to tell you, don't be discouraged by the sight of these construction walls right now. We have been promised something incredible on the other side of them, and soon. But you know what's incredible that we have right now? The Imagination Pavilion, and a really awesome ride inside there. Well, again, it's awesome because of nostalgia. It's the third version of a ride that opened originally in March of 1983, just about 5 months after EPCOT opened. And the first version is the version that all the fans love. It introduced us to Figment, a character that was totally original to the original ride, who has now become sort of the unofficial mascot of EPCOT. And unfortunately, they closed it and turned it into another ride and took Figment out completely, and another character called the Dream Finder. Fans were beyond outraged. They had a collective meltdown, and Disney closed that version of the ride and put Figment back in. And that is the version we have today. Journey into Imagination with Figment. And it's not the best version of the ride, but it's the version that we have, and it's the version we all accept because we don't have a choice. And Figment's in it. And here it is, the Imagination Pavilion and Journey into Imagination with Figment. There is a posted wait time of 20 minutes. We will set the timer and see how that compares to real life. Normally, I wouldn't recommend getting in line for this ride when it is 20 minutes because the wait time should, thank you. The wait time should drop later. I like to get a nice 5-minute posted wait for this ride, which generally signals us to know that it is a walk-on. But I've set the timer, and we'll see how long it really is. Maybe a posted wait of 20 minutes today means walk-on too. In fact, it definitely looks like it does. Walk-on. Walk-on. Imagination with Figment, posted wait time 20 minutes. Oh no, you're flush. Posted wait time 20 minutes, actual wait, walk on. That's a difference of 20 minutes. Lie. Also to show you, they are being very persistent about this lie. There is no question that this is a walk-on right now, and the posted wait Journey into Imagination with Figment is still 20 minutes. So, liars. I hate to say it. But look at the pretty picture. I guess that we'll forgive them for getting us on rides faster than they say, and for making the monorail loop around Spaceship Earth like that since 1982. Epcot, you're a keeper. No matter how much you lie. We'll take it. Lie to me, I promise I'll believe. Lie to me, but please don't leave me. Sheryl Crow. We needed a little Sheryl Crow right now. I needed a little Sheryl Crow right now. You're probably like, oh, breathe love. Guess what? We're at the Land Pavilion. Again, I love it here so much. Garden Grill restaurant, one of my favorite restaurants on the planet. We've got Sunshine Seasons, which is a delicious quick service restaurant that has the Mediterranean sandwich that I'm obsessed with. And you've got two amazing rides. You've got Saurin, which is just a dream of a ride. And you've got Living with the Land, which is an EPCOT classic, a newer version of an opening day ride. And just delightful. And guess what? Both of them have posted wait times. So we are doing both. But welcome to the land. I just feel like different and whole when I'm here. I feel it completes me. The Land Pavilion completes me. I think that needs to be some merch. Okay, DFB store, I'm looking at you. Well, looky here, one of our very favorite rides at AllEars. The entire cast of AllEars unanimously, and that's rare, agrees that this is one of the best rides in Disney World. It's a posted 5-minute wait, but I can already see that it's a walk-on. So I'm not even gonna set the timer. Let's just walk over here. Oh my goodness. We are in the front row of our own boat. Is today the best day of all of our lives? I think it would be better if you were here with me. Okay, I agree. Yes, you should be here, but you're here in my heart, and I'm here for you when you can't be here. And we just walked on Living with the Land. Posted wait time 5 minutes. Living with the Land, a posted wait time of 5 minutes, total walk-on. Couldn't actually have been more of a walk-on, I feel like. So that's another 5 minutes that we gained in our day. It's amazing. And yet another lie. It is so convenient to come and ride Saurin right after you exit Living with the Land. I'll show you. This is the exit to Living with the Land. That's where we just came off the ride, and this is the entrance to Saurin. This is a ride that originally opened in Disney's California Adventure. Now it's just called Disney California Adventure in 2001 with the park. It was an opening day attraction there. Now, originally it was a ride called Saurin over California, which featured views of different parts of California, but it was only that state. And that's the way that it opened here. Saurin over California was actually the film they were showing, but the ride was rebranded as simply Saurin. Then they made a new movie called Saurin Around the World, which showed you different landmarks all over the globe. And that they called Saurin Around the World. And that's an awesome version, but my favorite version is Saurin over California because I grew up in California and because I got to go on this ride in 2001 as Saurin over California in Disney California Adventure. And so I have a lot of nostalgia about it. And the awesome news is for the Disney 100 celebration, they have brought back Saurin over California for a limited time. And that is actually the version that we get to see, experience, ride today. Posted wait time 35 minutes. Let's go get in the queue. I'll set the timer and we'll see. Every single ride so far has been a lie about the wait time. and we'll see about Saurin. If you download the Play Disney Parks mobile app, you are able to play this cool trivia game and see how you stack up to other guests who are also in queue. It's global international trivia, and it's really cool. It's stuff that I'm really bad at. You can see here you end up on a leaderboard, and you can see how you match up, and maybe your code can be famous. This is the biggest lie of all. Just kidding. It's actually not the, it might be. I don't know. We'll see. It appears we're walking onto Saurin. I'm not going to count chickens before they're hatched, but wow, we haven't stopped. Just, okay, thank you. Sea Terminal. And this is actually where I was told by a cast member, this is where the additional show building was added on for more theaters, expanding the land pavilion beyond what it originally was. This was formerly the home of two different shows. The opening day attraction show here was called Kitchen Cabaret, and it taught you about the food pyramid. It was really cool. It used music to tell families how to eat well. And then it was updated and called Food Rocks. It used kind of classic rock music that they rewrote the lyrics to with cool characters like the Peach Boys and kind of a Cher character called the Queen of Soul, but it was S-O-L-E, like the fish. And she was a fish, and she's saying "Keep it lean" to the tune of the Shoop Shoop song. Instead of "It's in his kiss," it's just "Keep it lean." So listen, there were great times had in this building. All of those are gone, and now we have something epic, spectacular, and awesome. Saurin. We are stopped at a little bit of a wait, so it's not a total walk-on. I've got the timer set, and we'll see how long it takes. Saurin over California posted a 35-minute wait. The actual time we waited, 7 minutes. That's a difference of 28 minutes. Why? Sad but true, it's time to say goodnight to the land pavilion. So if the land pavilion makes me whole, does this mean I am no longer a whole person when I exit? I don't know. Let's see how I feel when I cross through these doors. We're outside. Do I feel less whole? A little bit, honestly. Okay, maybe the land pavilion makes me more than complete. That's probably a more accurate way to describe the feeling. Bye, land pavilion. All right, we only have one more ride in EPCOT with a posted wait time, and that is 5 minutes for the Seas with Nemo and Friends. Let's do it. I'm setting the timer, and I'm walking through the scariest queue in all of Walt Disney World, in my opinion, especially when it is empty. It's dark and reminds me of a haunted house. This is my version of Halloween Horror Nights. That's as much as I could handle. Timer set. Oh my gosh, wish me luck. I'm going in. I know it's silly. There's no reason to be afraid of this queue, but it's so dark. I mean, it's almost as bad as going through one of the caves on Tom Sawyer Island. It smells like pizza. It smells like pizza really strong, like a Chuck E. Cheese. Like, I wonder if they got pizza for the cast members tonight. I don't think this is a smell that comes out of Coral Reef, but maybe. It smells really good. This is looking like a you-know-what. A W-O. Thank you. Did you hear someone compliment my Disney Food Blog shirt? I spread the word that it's in the DFB store. We have not stopped. And that would be a walk-on. The Seas with Nemo and Friends posted 5-minute wait, total walk-on. That means, because this is the last ride, we have a 100% lie rate of lying by Disney. Oh, and to celebrate, all of the lies were under the time, meaning they overestimated the time. These are lies we will accept, and these are lies we will celebrate, and we'll also accept the punishment of rain for having had this amazing day. Let's recap. We've been in Epcot for 7 hours, 7 magical hours, rode 10 rides, and in all, we waited 3.5 hours less than what Disney posted outside the rides. It's so loud, but I love it. This is why I love Epcot. What other park can you have this experience? Walking out from an amazing day and having the icon of the park come to life and just, well, I guess the castle does it. I guess the Tree of Life does. I mean, you know what? There's nothing like Spaceship Earth. I think it is undeniable that, yes, Disney lied about wait times today. They over-exaggerated what the reality of the wait would be in many situations. And I even went back and checked in certain situations like Journey into Imagination with Figment to see after it was clearly a walk-on if they had changed it in the meantime to like 5 minutes, and it was still set at 20 minutes. Has this happened to you before? Is this common? Let us know in the comments below. I would love to hear about your experience and what you think about the results of today's science experiment. If you like this video, please go ahead and like and subscribe. See you next time.